Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is Gems of War. And today I'm going to be going over your weekly preview for the week of October 9th, 2023. So we'll be going into the SOULFORGE, the Glory Shop, the Invasion event. We got Guild Wars going on, everything else that's going on this week, a new campaign, Epic Trials, Underspire, event key drop table, trait stone. We're going over a lot of stuff. I didn't say SOULFORGE. But let's go. Blood and Bones, new ultra rare troop, Blood Elf. Get this troop with glory from the rewards tab of the shop. Also, I may make a couple shorter videos. I'm going to test it out this week. I may or may not do that, or I might just clip them out of this video. So this video may be a little bit longer. But I'm thinking about maybe clipping some stuff out of it and making separate videos for the Underspire and the Epic Trials. I think that's just how it is these days and what we got to do. Blood and Bones, I already said that. Midnight Countdown. The new campaign has started. New rewards every week. Don't miss out. Appreciate you watching this one, though. It'll have the SOULFORGE and the event key drop table and the Glory Stone and the campaign and all that different stuff in it. Guild War. Help your guild win the war. Don't forget to set your defenses and fight your daily battles. Keep forgetting to do anything about Guild Wars. I just don't look forward to it, so I'm never thinking about making videos for it. Invasion. Help your guild defeat enemy towers this week. Build a team from a troop type undead and invade every day. New mythic troop, the Turquoise Emperor, is still available until Friday. He's not, like, super awesome, though. Week of Galvania. All Galvanian troops gain 10% to skills. Week of Undead. All Undead gain 10% to their skills. And bonus souls. Use the Blood Elf in PvP and Explore to gain 40 souls. Almost never worth doing. Alright, SOULFORGE. I haven't seen this at all yet. It's the main thing this video is about, though, so we're going to go to it first. I mean, everything's in this video, but the main thing that's not going to get broke out into other videos that most people want to see is probably the SOULFORGE. King of the Ravens! Are you serious, y'all? Are you serious? I have, like, every single troop in the game. Totally for free. Pretty much. I'll show you in a second. I'm not even flexing. It just is what it is. So King of the Ravens is a top 20 mythic. It is not a top 10 mythic, though. So let's see what else we got. Umanath, TNE, and Doomclaw. So 3 Dookie Stains. King of the Ravens is the best, and this is the very first time it's been available in the SOULFORGE. I can tell you that for sure because I'm totally free to play, and it's one of the only troops in the game I didn't have. I'm only missing like 3 or 4 troops now, and one of them is the Horde Mimic Mythic. So I'm going to be going after that pretty soon because it's getting more and more enticing for me to go after it since it's one of the only troops I don't have. The King of the Ravens is definitely the best mythic in the SOULFORGE this week. It's a top 20 mythic, borderline top 15, but not top 10. 24, blue, yellow, purple, glacial, peaks, phase, strix, explode all purple gems, and spirit gems. Deal damage to the last 2 enemies boosted by spirit gems. It's cool because it blows up purple, which it uses, and then spirit gems, which will drain the enemy's mana, and it uses blue as well. It converts 2 blue gems to spirit gems when my turn begins, so there's always going to be spirit gems on the board to explode. And it summons a dark storm at the start of battle, so there's always going to be purple on the board to explode. And then it has immunity to mana burn, mana drain, and mana steal, so it never happens to itself. It can't backfire. So really cool troop. Can help you win. And mana generate and do damage. It's just a good mythic, a good example of a mythic. Doing multiple things and not, it has synergy with its own self instead of, doing something stupid. So multiple things, and it's good. Mana generating, disrupting damage dealer. Pretty cool. So that's number 1. Number 2 is probably TNE. Don't craft it, though. 20 blue, red, yellow, Shintang, Wildfolk Mystic. Deal heavy splash damage to an enemy and stun all affected enemies. Deal double damage if my attack is greater. Summon 1 to 3 Monkey Disciples. Not bad. Just kind of like an average mythic. Maybe slightly above average. Alright, we got Doomclaw. And we got Umanath. Umanath's probably 3rd this week. 25, green, red, brown, Pride Lands, Divine Raksha. Deal damage to an enemy boosted by all their skills. If the enemy dies, gain 10 attack and create 12 skulls. Once again, not bad. Just a really average mythic. No good. Eagle Eye's okay, but nothing too crazy. It might be slight. It might even, if you argue that it's better than TNE, I wouldn't argue with you there. But I like the fact that TNE has a giant like summon, heavy splash damage, lots of stunning, double damage. I just feel like he's slightly better than Umanath, but they're very close. Doomclaw is one of the worst in the game. 24 blue, green, brown, Urskaya, Damon, Urska. Deal 50 damage to an enemy boosted by enraged allies with separate 25% chances to devour the next enemy above and below. Enrage a random ally on 4 or 5 gym matches. Can't ever have too much enrage on your team. You can have 3 or 4, so it's one of those things where it doesn't boost very much. It's like when you boost off a cursing or blessing. It's not a great thing to boost off of. It's better to boost off like armor or magic or something that can go high. Or even gym spawn. Like, can go up to like 20, whereas enrage can only go up to like 3 or 4. And the 25% chances, that's pretty low as far as devour rate. But yeah, that's what I would say. King of the Ravens, head and shoulders above everything else, a top 20 mythic. But if you're saving for top 10s, still chill out and wait. But it's first time it's been available, so that kind of puts it up a notch. And then I would say TNE, then Umanath, but they're really, really close. And then Doomclaw. Really close as in right in the middle, like C tier, though. Alright, let's look at the legendaries. We have Kraken. We have King Highforge. We have Charybdis. And we have King Heliodor. It's kind of a difficult one, but none of them are really like top 10s or top 5s. So you shouldn't be crafting these. King Heliodor is okay. People got on my nerves when he first came out because they were all over him, but I bet you they're not now. And that's kind of how things go. People hype stuff up and just to get views, and then everybody else kind of falls for it. And now, where's King Heliodor now? He's not anywhere. So he's one of those. People hype him up, and then they... Even Charybdis here might be one of those that people hype up and then never use again. You gotta just keep it in mind. Just trust me. Just, like, remember stuff. That's all you gotta do. And you'll see what I mean. Kraken used to be really good, but no longer. King Highforge, 50% start for dwarves. That is notable. But, you know, I still think maybe King Heliodor slightly above. He's just not amazing. These troops come out that are, like, above average, and people, like, act like they're amazing, and it's crazy to me. And then no one uses them a couple months later, and they forget, and they're still watching the person that calls everything amazing. Do you not remember King Heliodor? Do you not remember Sparkinator? Do you not remember, like, all these troops that were called amazing and are no longer used at all? Just have a memory is all I'm asking. But King Heliodor, 18, red, brown, Nexus, Elemental. Deal true damage to the first enemy, boosted by brown gems and allies. Then knock them to the back, then create 3 elemental stars. True damage, but it's single target. It could make those elemental stars, maybe, and have a little bit of potential to get an extra turn, but then you're going to be doing damage to one single target again, even if you happen to get that. It's not amazing. Stone Skin is cool, though. And yeah, it's above average. It's just not worth yelling and screaming and ripping your panties off and throwing them in the air about. King Highforge, 15, red, brown, Kazeel Dwarf. Stun the last 2 enemies and deal 44 damage to them, boosted by allied dwarf. Summon a random dwarf. All dwarf allies start with 50% mana. So it's the 50% start for dwarves, and it's not terrible. So it's better than the other 2 things in here, like Kraken. 17, green, purple, Blackhawk Monster. Deal damage to the last 2 enemies. Create 8 blue gems, and there's a 35% chance to devour the last enemy. Used to be like this Justice, Queen Map thing going on with this guy. He's kind of loopy, devouring. It was cool. And then it kind of got nerfed and fell behind the curve. Charybdis, 15, blue, red, Merlantis, Beast Giant. Deal damage to the first enemy and last enemy. There are independent 10% chances to devour the enemies, boosted by 3% for each submerged ally and enemy. Once again, Submerge is one of those stupid boosts that you can only have 3 or 4 of. It says and enemy, so it can go up to like 6 or 7, 8 maybe. But still, like, you want anything else. You want armor, you want magic, you want gem colors. Anything is better than something that can only have up to 4, up to 8. Unless it's like a really, really high boost, I guess. But yeah, that's the SOULFORGE. King of the Ravens, first time ever available, and it's like a top 15, top 20 mythic. So that's really notable. And that's about it. 50% start for dwarves is there as well. Alright, weapons. This thing is in the event, so don't get it. This thing is always going to be here. Always here, always here, always here, etc. This is nothing to write home about. I did use the Scrab Blade on my invasion video, thinking it was in the SOULFORGE, and it is not. Luckily, weapons aren't that big of a deal during events. Just find something else that explodes, or use the Dead Gauntlet. There's another weapon like the Axe of the Leeching or something in here that kind of does the same kind of deal. So you just have to adjust on the fly It's no big deal. The weapons are never use this weapon or else, you know? It's usually the troops. But Doom Scythe might be one of the best things in the entire SOULFORGE. It's a toss-up between this and the King of the Ravens. So, up to you on that. I don't know which one to call the best, because I've been waiting for the King of the Ravens. It is a top 20 mythic, and Doom Scythe, though, is the best purple doomed weapon in the game, and it's going to be like 35 weeks before you can get it again. So, yeah. I mean, if you only have a certain amount of diamonds and you're saving for something else, get Doom Scythe and pass on the King of the Ravens. If you have plenty of diamonds and you've been waiting for King of the Ravens, get King of the Ravens, you know? One or the other. Or both. If you can get both, that would be great. Doom Scythe and King of the Ravens are definitely recommended this week. Okay, so that was the SOULFORGE. Let's go check out this invasion. I will try to give you some other options for this grab blade, because I kind of feel stupid for using it for everything. It's a Keytar weapon, but hopefully you have it. If you're mid-game or late-game, you should be getting every single weapon that they present to you, because it takes a very long time for them to come back around in the SOULFORGE. So that's just something you should be doing in every event, is buying up to the weapon. Once you get to like mid-game and forward. So beginners, I feel bad for you, but everybody else, I don't feel that bad about it, because you should be getting every single weapon in every single event anytime it's possible, because you're buying a certain amount in events anyway. They're guild events. You should invest into them. Your guild is giving you gems with guild tasks. You then should take those gems and invest them into the guild event. So you shouldn't be sitting there buying nothing in the guild event. So a good place to buy up to is the weapon. You get enough turns to do your share, you get the Explode Potion, you get the Enchant Potion, and then you also get a weapon. So it's just the perfect place to buy up to. It gives you enough turns to do your share, Explode, everything I just said. You should be buying up to the weapon in every event. Your guild gives you the gems with guild tasks on Monday. It's not like you have to breach into your own pocket. You should reinvest into your guild. If you're not doing that and you don't have the weapon, that's your own fault. But make sure you keep buying weapons from now on. Like the one that's in there right now, just get it. Even though it's not good, you're never going to see it again, and you're buying turns anyway. It's just a thing you should do anyway. You're not buying the weapon with the gems. You're buying the turns and the potions, and you're happening to get the weapon as you do that. But anyway, let's try to come up with a different weapon here. The restriction, there's no restriction, so I can use any weapon that I want. But we have undead troops, so I usually look up undead. We got Galvania. We got Galvania and we got undead. So you could look up one or the other. Since undead, there's some that don't work. Let's look up Galvania. That's what I do whenever I'm looking for weapons. I'll look up the kingdom. If I have a full team of the same kingdom, there's no reason not to look up the kingdom. If I have a full team and they're all undead, there's no reason not to look up undead. We have this one right here, red and purple for each Galvania ally. Our whole team's going to be Galvania. Pretty sure. Is Death Knight Galvania? I'll have to check. Pretty sure, yep. So it works. So Axe of the Leeching is nice. It uses green. Even though it's the same as the Ghost Queen, we're not using Ghost Queen for its mana. We're using it for the 50% start. Doom Scythe is okay, but you want some kind of mana generation. You don't want to be going all in on the Doom Scythe. I don't think that's a good idea. And yeah, I guess that's it. So hopefully you have that. It is in the SOULFORGE. I can't believe that's all they have in Galvania is one weapon that mana generates. That's crazy. You think they'd have an explodey weapon in Galvania. Anyway, but you don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want. Since we have access to everything. What's clear filter? Like the Mountain Crusher. There's like no excuse, really. You should always think like this. My ideas on Monday morning are just ideas. You could cast Mountain Crusher, make a Brown Storm, and yeah. Or you could use something else. You could use Essence of Evil. You could use Wand of Stars. There's Mountain Crusher, Reflection of Good. Anything that explodes. I would probably cross out like purple and brown and just do this. And then anything you want that explodes is pretty much fine. Might not be the best idea, but you could look up Construct, right? We could look up Construct. That's the other option. Take this off. We'll just look up Construct. You should just start typing in and searching stuff. Galvania, Undead, Construct. Or if you just know you want to use a certain weapon, use that. Use the Wand of Stars or something. But Glowing Core, it's the same exact thing as the Scrap Blade. So, and it doesn't even use brown or purple. It's perfect. So this is exactly the same thing. So if you watched my other video and you said, oops, I don't have the Scrap Blade, well, Glowing Core is exactly the same thing, but you might not have that either if you're low level. You got Stone Slicer here, purple and brown. Guess what? Bone Catapult is purple and brown. Just make sure you start collecting these weapons anytime you see them, especially in events where you're already buying turns and potions and stuff. But there's 2 more options for you. Glowing Core, Stone Slicer, Essence of Evil if you just can't, Wand of Stars, anything that explodes. Any weapon that explodes is fine, really. Especially if it makes a brown storm or a purple storm or something like that would be cool. But you just got to mix and match and adjust on the fly based on what the idea I'm giving you. If you don't have the exact weapon, it's not a big deal. That's the invasion. Go check out my other video. I'll link it at the end of this video. What else are we going to look at here? The shop. Get your Spoils of War every single week. It only costs glory, and it gives you event keys. If you buy it every week, it'll add up. Blood Elf is here. 11 red, yellow, Galvania, Undead Elf. Steal life from an enemy and web them. So not very good. It only steals life from one enemy. Not a big deal. Arcane Storm Trait Stones. Get 1 at a time. So that's red and yellow. Let's go check that out. What troops can we fully trait with that red and yellow trait stone? By the way, real quick. Let's clear filter. I gotta keep showing this off. It's like my proudest moment here. Just do unowned. 3 troops, y'all. One's a tarot card we just got. Another mythic we just got. And the Horde Mimic mythic. I gotta get this freaking mimic now. It makes me want to get it so bad. 0 VIP and freaking... Just the proof is in the pudding. I've been saying that a lot lately, but... Alright, anyway. Let's go check this out. I said I was going to make this faster. And I'm being an idiot, saying all kinds of stuff. Alright, so we can trait these troops. Got Eye of Argus with the Eye of Destruction. It's kind of fun. Ishtara has that 50% chance to bless a random ally when my turn begins. Infernus has Burn all enemies in 4 or 5 gym match. Jotner has Give a random ally a barrier on 4 or 5 gym match. Pharaoh Nefertani, always mention her. Death mark a random enemy in matching 4 or more gems. It's not amazing, but it's kind of... Sanctuary, Barrier, and Bless a random ally on matching 4 or more gems. You shouldn't even use the Archdeva unless you have it fully traded, because you can only cast him once, and you need him to have his 3rd trait to be usable. I don't think I've ever said that before, but I definitely believe it. Cleanse all allies when matching yellow gems. Divenia has that Dragon's Blessing. Cause a random positive stats effect on a random ally on 4 or 5 gym match. Kind of fun. King Salinas, your 50% Wild Folk start. You think of Wild Folk, who do you think of? Queen Beatrix, maybe? I think even Garnock has a 50% start for Orcs, which is kind of notable. The Great Worm makes the regular skulls, like Eye of Argus, except for Eye of Argus makes Doom Skulls. Apophysis is empowered. You want to always have all your troops that can be empowered, fully traded. They're very useful. All these troops right here. Got this 75% start, nearly empowered. Really useful in the underworld. Make sure you fully trait Harpy Mage. Might be the first one I'd recommend with this red and yellow stone. Because you're going to use it so much in the underworld. Every time you can't use Leprechaun, you're going to use Harpy Mage. So to have it fully traded is very useful. And you have the stone available to you in the Glory Shop right now. If you've been saving up Glory like I recommend. Lamash 2, another Empowered Converter. This is the Empowered Converter stone, basically. It's really good. Here's another one. Green to blue. And is that all? Tricknala, another one. Empowered. Inflict Hunter's Mark on the first enemy, then convert all green gems to skulls. You get to do that immediately. So you look for the alignment and you cast it. Whenever you get that alignment, you can cast it. But yeah, that's everything. But that's a lot of stuff. A lot of Empowered Converters, Harpy Mage, and then a lot of Mythics too. Like Infernus, Ishtara, Jotnar, Pharaoh Nefertani. The Archdeva needs it bad. So make sure you get everything fully traded. This is a good stone to invest in. Event key drop table is Galvania. So let's go check that out. We will do base rarity. Galvania. show all, but, you know, I have everything. Okay, so the Mythics here are actually pretty interesting and decent. They're not the best. There's definitely other kingdoms I would save event keys for, where you have multiple top 10 Mythics. For example, Zul'Kari has multiple top 10 Mythics. Then you have troops like Ironhawk and High King Irongut who are like the best in the game, and those are two other kingdoms you should save event keys for. There's some kingdoms that have like an amazing Mythic and an amazing Legendary you gotta look out for. But this here is decent because of, you know, you got Draculus, Morthani's Darkness, the Gemini, and the Grey King. 4 like solid Mythics right there. The Grey King is a top 10. Morthani's Darkness is, you know, not a top 20 or anything, but pretty good. The Gemini's okay. Draculus is okay. They're all true damage. I mean, this is a good little mix of Mythics here. If you're just super impatient and you can't wait any longer, I wouldn't be too mad at it. Crimson Bat's okay. Flesh Horror, I don't... Ghost Queen, your 50% start for undead. Undead troops like the Grey King, Morthani's Darkness, Draculus, the Gemini, Crimson Bat. And then for the rest of it, I don't think there's much here. I mean, Corpse Mare is one of the best bounty troops in the game. But other than that, it's very top-heavy. The Ghost Queen is your consolation prize. You're looking for these 4 Mythics up here, and you're hoping to get the Grey King. The Grey King is difficult to get, though, because the chance to get a Mythic is really low. And then you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting the Grey King. So 75% of the time, you actually get a Mythic. But you only get a Mythic 10% of the time or something every time you open a key. It's like 0.11 or something. If you happen to get a Mythic, then you only have a 25% chance it's actually going to be the Grey King. So it's cool to have these decent Mythics that if you miss, at least you get something that's decent. That's the event key drop table. It's like a good one, but it's not the best one. There's multiple kingdoms that are better, and there's other things to be looking for that are better. So if you're saving and you're patient, I would keep saving. If you just can't stand it anymore and you've been waiting to the first time I say go ahead, then maybe go ahead. The Grey King is good in like Guild Wars and PvP and stuff. Alright, what else is going on this week? So today, we have a new campaign. We have a new heroic gem. It's an extra turn heroic gem. It's a yellow, like, hourglass thing. And if you match it, it gives you an extra turn. If you blow it up, it gives you an extra turn. If you destroy it, it gives you an extra turn. If you do anything with it, it gives you an extra turn. It's pretty cool. If you're already getting an extra turn anyway, though, it doesn't do anything for you. But it's pretty nice. Like, imagine Triple Finesse and Imbus Bow with that thing falling, too. Like, you would never get out of your loop. It's pretty nice. Any kind of yellow loopy team, that's the first one I thought of. Maybe that Ishtara, the turquoise Emperor team that I showed you for the new Mythic. That might be nice right now with the hourglass extra turn thing. It would loop a little bit easier. But yeah, that's today, the new campaign. You're getting ready for Guild Wars. You got Guild Wars, so you need to set your defense. You need to do any Sentinels you want to do. You got your task. You got your adventure board, your dungeon, your campaign tasks. Let's go. Get all your campaign tasks done today so you can have your stats for Guild Wars. Tomorrow, of course, you got the invasion, too. I got a video on that. I'll link it at the end of this. I got 4 teams on it. 1 to get you quickly to the 4 towers. 1 for the high level. 1 for mid-level. 1 for low level. Remember, you can swap out. You can do Axe of Leeching instead of Scrap Blade. You can do Glowing Core instead of Scrap Blade. You can do, whatchamacallit, the other construct weapon. So that was one comment I saw, and it was a good point. Like, Scrap Blade's not in the SOULFORGE. I forgot to look. Tuesday, what do we got? Faction Assault, Golvania. What is Golvania? I have to go look. Is it Durgaroth? That's what I always guess. Because I forget what that one is. No, it's Dark Court. It's Dark Court. So I'll be having a video about that. Please watch it. I'd really appreciate it. It's one of the videos that, you know, got my eyeball on right now. Wednesday, pet is Moon Moon, a very important pet because it gives you extra souls. 5% extra souls on top of everything you do. So if you can get Moon Moon fully ascended, it'll just help your whole account. Doesn't mean I think you should invest gems in it, but you could. There's 3 pets in the entire game that I would recommend maybe investing gems into, and it's Moon Moon, Mini Mimic, and Lucky. Because they are always active, they always count, and they're always giving you something. Every single other pet, you have to have a very specific team to actually get a benefit from. These 3 pets, you get a benefit from everything you're doing in the entire game. Like, who cares if you have a pet that gives you a boost to giants if you're not using giants? It doesn't give you anything. Who cares if you're using a pet that gives you a boost to Galvania troops if you're not using Galvania troops? Moon's a boost to souls for every single battle, no matter what team you're using, so it's way better than other things, so it's worth investing into. Lucky, Mini Mimic, and Moon. And then Thursday, class event is Death Knight. Death Knight isn't that good. Friday, we have Arena, I'm pretty sure. Which I know nobody's going to do it. If I talk too much about it, I start sounding like an a-hole. So if you don't want to do Arena, don't do it. It is what it is. I'll do a little bit. It's not like I sit there doing it all weekend or something. I go to the Ritz at least, and then I'm done. I like Arena, though. It's fun to do on live stream. We'll have a live stream this Wednesday at at noon if you want to see deeper Epic Trials and deeper Underspire and see if I'm still using the same team in Invasion and everything, Guild Wars. And then Sunday at 10 a.m. EST, you know, Arena. Maybe I'll let y'all pick my teams. Depends how far we go down the tracks. But yeah, that's what's going on this week. Remember, the new Mythic is out of the drop table on Friday. So if you're being patient and you're not going for it, Friday's when you can start throwing your keys again if you're going for random Mythics and random Legendaries and everything. Right now, you're only getting the Turquoise Emperor, which is kind of mid. Okay, so let's go check out the campaign. What's on the adventure board? Some gems. What's our task? Complete a dungeon run. That means I have to do dungeon. Nice. Alright, campaign. Lady Saphira asked if I had ever heard of a city called Midnight. I had not. She knew a little about it, but suggested we talk to some of the older denizens of Galvania to learn more. Midnight's a new I think a new kingdom that's coming in December. So they're already talking about it. Midnight Countdown. Tasks are Dark Crystal, match purple gems in any battle except training. If you're using the Dead Gauntlet or the Axe of Leeching, that'll probably be easy. Purple Slayer, kill purple enemies in any battle except training. It's probably just going to happen as you do it. Brawler is already done. Just win any battle. And what are we getting? It's a new campaign, so we're going to look at everything. I can't really pull stuff up, though. I hate their new campaign menu here. I don't think anybody likes it. I can't go and look at anything. Like Chronometer, I can't click on that. But that's a new pet. More copies of the pet. The Timekeeper, I can't click on it or anything because their new stupid menu. But the Timekeeper looks like a new weapon. More pets. More pets. A portrait. Pets. The Hermit is a tarot card. And it's not in the... You guys saw the Unknown Troops. It's not there yet, so I can't go over it at all. Cronus is probably your Mythic, maybe? And yeah. So, we'll be talking about those when it's relevant. But, oh, well, there's a little sneak peek. And then we get 5 HP, which isn't going to help too much, but might as well get it if you can.